There is no story about a cursed possession more curious than the legend of the Bassano vase.
Some things should never leave the place they're found. Old houses, dusty attics, forgotten shops. Because every once in a while, an object carries a history that won't stay quiet.
In the last 6 years, 5 people have sat in the murderer's chair, and every single one has met sudden death.
We're counting down haunted relics so disturbing, even scientists wouldn't want to go near them. And there's no better way to kick things off than with something that never blinks first. Number 10. The hands resist him. It was just a painting until people started saying it watched them. The Hands Resist Him is one of the most infamous haunted artworks ever sold online. Painted by Bill Stoneham in 1972, it shows a young boy and a lifeless doll standing before a glass door, behind which dozens of disembodied hands press forward. But what unnerved people wasn't just the imagery, it was what happened next. After a California couple found it in an abandoned brewery and listed it on eBay in 2000, they claimed the figures in the painting would move at night. Their daughter even said the characters fought each other. But here's the twist. Both the gallery owner who first displayed the painting and the art critic who reviewed it died within a year. Beneath the brushstrokes lay a real photograph. And according to the artist, it wasn't just painted from life. It was pulled from a nightmare that still haunted him. Number 9. Okiku doll. In Japan, there's a doll kept behind glass that still gets haircuts. Her name is Okiku. Purchased in 1918 by a young man for his little sister, who died just a year later clutching it. Okiku was left at a temple as a memorial, but soon things got strange. Her neat black hair grew unevenly, split ends formed, lights flickered around her, whispers echoed near her case, and to this day, the temple trims her hair regularly. That's eerie enough. But in 2014, a scientific analysis confirmed the hair was real human hair, and it belonged to a child. Yet no one had ever admitted to replacing it. Locals avoid speaking poorly of the doll, fearing bad luck. On anniversaries of the girl's death, monks claim the doll's mouth opened slightly. Some even believe it's growing teeth. Whatever lives inside the Okiku doll, it's not resting peacefully, and it's definitely not leaving. Number 8. Let Me Out. If you saw Letta the doll in a room, you'd leave the house. Found in 1972 beneath a house in Wagga Wagga, Australia, this handmade figure, with wild human hair and a carved, grimacing face, was taken home by Kerry Walton, who said the doll's presence made floors creak and items move. He nicknamed it Let Me Out. Friends fainted near it. Dogs barked uncontrollably. But what really set Letta apart came from a psychic's reading. The doll, she said, was over 200 years old, crafted in Eastern Europe, and may contain the spirit of a drowned boy. Even stranger, experts confirmed the hair is real and likely human. It's been featured on countless talk shows, always accompanied by reports of headaches, nausea, or sudden dread in the audience. Letta doesn't sit still. In interviews, Walton claims he's seen the doll shift positions on its own, subtly, slowly, like it's waiting for something. Number 7, the unlucky mummy. She's not in a tomb. She's in a museum, and the stories surrounding her refuse to stay buried. The unlucky mummy, housed in the British Museum since 1889, isn't actually a full mummy. It's an ornate inner coffin lid from ancient Egypt. But for more than a century, it's been blamed for death, financial ruin, and even global disaster. The chaos began after its excavation from the tomb of the priestess of Amun-Ra, an act that was considered sacrilege. Members of the expedition reportedly died mysteriously soon after. But here's the wild part. Rumor has it the artifact was being transported on the Titanic under a different name, hidden in the cargo manifest. After the ship went down, whispers claimed the mummy's curse struck again. The museum, of course, denies it was ever on board, but people still report strange energy around the exhibit. Faint whispers, nausea, and unexplained equipment malfunctions. Coincidence? Or something ancient that never forgave the light? Number 6. The Conjure Chest. It looks like an ordinary 1800s chest of drawers, until you count the bodies. Known as the Conjure Chest, this heirloom has been linked to at least 16 documented deaths across generations. Built by an enslaved man named Remus in Kentucky, it was cursed. allegedly in revenge for his murder by the owner, Jeremiah Graham. Remus's friends scattered owl blood inside its drawers, and tragedy followed anyone who used it. But here's what chills even historians. The Smithsonian once declined to acquire the chest due to its disturbing reputation, despite its undeniable historical value. In the 1940s, a woman named Virginia Cleveland attempted to break the curse through folk rituals involving boiled willow leaves and a dead owl. Her maid, who helped perform the ritual, died soon after. Today, the conjure chest sits in the Kentucky Historical Society, empty, sealed, and off limits. Museum staff don't use it, and no one's brave enough to open its drawers. Number 5. Annabelle. Before Hollywood turned her into a horror icon, Annabelle was a simple Raggedy Ann doll. But what happened in the Hartford apartment where she lived wasn't fiction, it was fear. Given to a nursing student in the 1970s, Annabelle allegedly moved on her own, left notes reading, "Help me," and even raised her arms at the dinner table while witnesses watched in shock. But here's what most people don't know. When a priest first visited the apartment, he scoffed at the idea of a haunted doll and dismissed it as nonsense. Hours later, he was nearly killed in a car crash. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren believed Annabelle wasn't just haunted, it was possessed. When they took her in, their car reportedly stalled until holy water was poured on the doll. Today, Annabelle is locked inside a glass case at the Warrens' Occult Museum with a warning, "Do not open." Even visitors who mock her from behind the glass have later reported accidents, or worse. Number 4. Robert the Doll. Robert doesn't blink, he watches. Given to a boy named Robert Eugene Otto in 1904, this stuffed sailor doll soon became more than a childhood toy. When toys shattered or furniture tipped over, Gene never panicked. He just looked at the doll and said it was Robert's doing. As an adult, Gene kept the doll in his attic. Neighbors swore they saw Robert pacing behind the windows. Visitors heard giggling from upstairs, and the longer he stayed in the house, the more uneasy things got. But here's the part that truly haunts. Today, Robert lives in a museum and receives over 1,000 letters a year. Not from fans, from people begging for forgiveness. Visitors who insulted the doll have written to say they lost jobs, crashed cars, or were injured, begging Robert to lift the curse. Staff even report cameras malfunctioning in his presence. Robert never moves when you're watching. That's the point. He only acts when you turn your back. Number 3. James Dean's Porsche 550 Spider. They called it Little Bastard, and it lived up to the name. James Dean's Porsche 550 Spider wasn't just the car he died in. It's a machine that carried misfortune long after his final drive. When actor Alec Guinness first laid eyes on the car, he felt a deep unease and told Dean plainly, if he got in that car, he'd be dead within 7 days. He was right, down to the day. But here's where it spirals. After the crash, the wreck was bought by the customizer George Barris. A mechanic broke his leg as it slipped off the trailer. 2 doctors who bought parts for their own race cars were both injured, one fatally. Tires sold from the car burst simultaneously, nearly killing the buyer. Even a man who tried to steal the steering wheel was hospitalized. But the final twist? In 1960, while being returned to Barris, the remains of Little Bastard vanished in transit, never seen again. The car didn't just kill James Dean, it disappeared like it was never supposed to be found. Number 2. Thomas Busby's chair. It's just a chair, but no one who sat in it lived to tell the story for long. In 1702, Thomas Busby was hanged for murdering his father-in-law, allegedly after the man sat in Busby's favorite chair without permission. Before his execution, Busby cursed the chair, promising death to anyone who dared sit in it. Sounds like legend until the death toll began. During World War II, airmen from a nearby base who sat in the chair never returned from missions. In the 1970s, a delivery man died in a car crash just hours after sitting in it. One of the several fatal incidents that year alone. That was enough for the landlord, who eventually donated it to the Thirsk Museum. But with a condition, the chair must never touch the floor again. Today, it's suspended high on a wall, chained in place. No one, not staff, not visitors, dares sit in it. And if the curse is real, it's still counting, silent, patient, waiting for the next person who doesn't believe in curses. Number 1, the Bassano vase. Crafted in the 15th century, the Bassano vase was a wedding gift, delivered too late. The bride died that very night, clutching it in her arms. From then on, every new owner met the same fate: sudden, unexplained death. The silver vase passed through Italian noble families and collectors, but its trail is lined with coffins. Auction houses refused to list it. Museums rejected it. Even priests failed to cleanse it. But the story doesn't stop at legend. It ends in something far stranger. In the 1980s, after yet another owner died, the vase was reportedly buried in a lead casket under strict police supervision. Italian authorities allegedly picked an undisclosed location and left no marker, fearing future curiosity. No museum has claimed it since, no official burial record exists, and no one knows exactly where it is. A cursed object so deadly, the only solution was to hide it from the world, forever. If it ever resurfaces, it won't be in a glass case. It'll be on a list like this, under a headline that says someone found it again. They were made by hand, but remembered in whispers. Some objects don't just carry history, they resist being forgotten. So, if one ever stares back at you, maybe don't stare too long. Drop a comment, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side.